Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a new weekly close. I'm yours truly, the one and only Coin Baron. And today we strap in for potentially a very bad weekend, because I don't know if you've been following the charts just the last few minutes even, but it has been going down, and even more down. It is a crazy Sunday. Remember guys, Sundays are low trading volume days, typically low liquidity. People are having a day off. Like me, just enjoying the sun, and then we got this. Then we got this happening, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't often happen like what just occurred today. Bitcoin below $80,000. Ethereum back to about $1,600. XRP below $2 as well. BNB also below $600. One good thing, USDC is still $1. Tether as well, still $1. So, okay, big red day. Welcome guys, strap in. It is Black Sunday, I guess. Black Sunday. Let's quickly take a look at what CRO is doing. Because CRO, yeah, you can see the Bitcoin chart. The first time I'm actually seeing some bit of green popping up here. The first green hourly candle, so 9 o'clock Amsterdam time today. Popped off quite green. But CRO, yeah, it's very rough. It's very rough. We're back. We're back to 8 cents. We're back to 8 cents, ladies and gentlemen. I am hoping today for a retest at the breakout point. I'm hoping for a retest at the breakout point at about 8.3 cents. So if you get a bounce where we are right now, then maybe it is okay. Now we're talking about 8.4 cents actually. That's a breakout point. Typically you can have a retest about at the breakout for CRO, but it is showing relative weakness. Everything is showing relative weakness. And John is feeling worried. I mean, I think it doesn't really matter what kind of maxi you are, John. I don't think it matters really what kind of maxi you are. If you're into Ethereum as well, Ethereum has the same type of dump currently. Breaking below this structure here. And bringing us back really to where we were in October 2023. Ouch, 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 ouch. It is crazy. It is crazy. But what Cynical is saying here, you know, strap in, buckle up. Opportunities are being made. And that's also how I still view it. The only... Oh, wait a minute. The only thing which I have to say here, guys, and where is my main screen? There we go. I want to say a few things here. First and foremost, great Sunday, guys. I hope you're enjoying your weekend off. Or if you're working, well, God bless you guys. Have a good weekend in that case. I want to say a few things. Some people are making the comparison back to 1929 with an actual Black Monday that happened after a long period of wars, happened after a long period as well of trading tariffs. We got the Hoover administration, or Rover? I think Hoover. I think it was Hoover. Back in 2029, we had a really big stock crash. Back then, though, exports were really only a small part of the global economy. US exports, only about 7%. Current day and age, the global economy is so intertwined. It is one big ecosystem, and tariffs hurt. Tariffs hurt. It's a thing. It's proven here. I want to say though that, of course, the better example is, I think, the 1987 Black Monday. 1987. Just take a quick peek here at what is really going on, because maybe you've been seeing this as well. People have been looking up Black Monday. Really, it's a new resurgence, really, of people looking up Black Monday. But this happens every so often. This really happens every so often. People always refer to the Black Monday. Let's go take a look in the last 12 months. Also here, July 28th. Resurgence of people looking for Black Monday. I think tomorrow we might see a bit of more clearly how big the surge peak is today. PJ, well, I don't need Google. I lived it. Let's show the people that didn't live in 1987. Let's show the people that didn't live in 1987, like me, what happened to the stock market, because we have to take a look at the Dow Jones Index. And yeah, last Friday, guys, when the stock market closed, it was a big red day. It was one of the biggest collapses for the Dow Jones Index in history, but not the biggest one. Definitely not the biggest one. Let's get back to 1987. Let's get back to 1987, guys. What happened back then? Well, the Dow Jones Index was a lot lower. We also had quite a beautiful crash here, of course, in 2008. The global financial crisis, the bank crisis. 1987, though, it was only this small peak here. And I think it's important to set things into perspective, because even after a big crash, like we're going to zoom in just a minute, guys, we can recover. It's only a small blip in time. That's always why I say time in the market is more important than timing the market. Time in the market more important than timing the market. Having said that, though, for crypto, sometimes timing the market is also very, very, very important. Anyways, if you've got any wisdom for us today, Pete, show us. What did you do in 1987? But let me show you guys what happened here. This was the 1987 crash. I need to zoom in more and more because it was a really big thing. But it was long ago as well. So we just reached a new record high for the DJI, Dow Jones Index, at about 2,800. 2,800. In context, currently we're about 38,000. 38,000. But back then, 2,800 new all-time high. Like we also reached a new all-time high not that long ago. And what happened in 87? We had a big crash. We had a big crash. Minus 40% on the stock market. Typically, guys, minus 20% is the big dip. But this was a minus 40% day. Having said that, though, we did recover on the day as well. So yeah, let's see. Black Monday, potentially. Let's call it Black Monday. We're not there yet, though. Bitcoin, in my opinion, is not really doing a Black Monday yet. What Bitcoin is doing right now is just, doing what it should have done Friday. It is just, it's about time. SPX dumped like crazy. Bitcoin grew. Bitcoin had green numbers on Friday. That was crazy. Like I mentioned before, I do think, and also mentioned in my the time to buy video, they are very much correlated. And sometimes Bitcoin has a bit of a delay, but it always comes back. It always comes back to bite you in the ass. Anyways, Sanjay was about 1 year old. I hope you cared about different things than Black Friday. Oh, Black Friday is a good thing. Black Friday is a discount day. That's also how we like to think about this, right, guys? Black Monday. If we get a Black Monday, it's a bit like Cyber Monday. If you want to buy iPads on the cheap, if you want to buy tech on the cheap, you buy on Black Monday or Cyber Monday. Or if you want to do other buys like Christmas shopping, you do it on a Black Friday, right? That's how I think about the market. So Pete is not old. No, I mean, anyone in here, really. I think the majority of people in crypto are, I think, in between like 20 and 40 years old. 20 and 40, with a few outliers. I've seen 14 years old, people 14 years old and even younger become millionaires in crypto. Crazy times. But okay. Just yesterday you said, now it's time to buy. No, I said in April it's time to buy. I'm buying more, and that's also what I did, Sami. Anyways, I always said zoom out. I said zoom out. Zoom out, and things will be fine. Like I've shown you, things will be fine. For the Dow Jones Index, it took a bit longer though. It took not 1 year, but I think 2 years. About 2 years to recover from the Dow Jones Industrial Index here. So yeah, stock market, it took 2 years. I honestly don't hope it's gonna take 2 years to recover for the crypto market. I still think we're in a bull market, but this is painful. This is really painful. I'm saying it how it is. Having said that though, I do think it's also a buying opportunity, but no financial advice here. Random tokens like, yeah, I'm not, after what you just said, I'm feeling old. I mean, random token, what I would like to say though is that I think age brings some type of wisdom that I don't have. I think age and experience brings a type of wisdom we need in this day and age as well. But hey, it's what it is. Should I buy now or tomorrow? It's so hard to decide. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a bit overblown. That's what I've been saying also for a while. I think in the end, what we've been seeing with, for example, the SPX, S&P 500, in the first Trump administration in 2018, about here, it didn't take long to recover. It didn't take long to recover after this big crash here. It was quick. It was a quick crash. And also here again, take a look at how steep this crash is. Take a look at how steep this crash is. It's typically those steep crashes, it's still often, if it's going to be a real bull market or real bear market, it's a slow crash. It's a slow crash. You know, it's something like this. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down. And even that wasn't really a bear market. That was a cool-off period. That was a cool-off period. That's all it was. That's all it was. But yeah, today I think the big storyline is Ethereum. And the big storyline is Ethereum. At least for the crypto market. Because crypto, it is still Bitcoin versus altcoins in my opinion. That's the big narrative. Bitcoin versus altcoins. Altcoins being the more risky one. And it broke down. I told you in a video, the time to buy video Samir talked about. I told you, watch this breakdown. And the same for CRO. CRO, it had to hold. Oh, wait a minute, wrong chart. CRO had to hold this line here, 9.3. It didn't, it broke down. And I said, well, it might go back to this breakout point here. Having said that though, I talk about this way too often, but the rainbow chart is still in a buy range. But this is okay. Guys, we're doing the weekly close, so we're taking a look at weekly closes. So Sunday, the weekly candle is done. This candle is ugly though. This is a really, really ugly candle, bringing us down right where we were at last week. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Jay saying, market is cooked. Market is cooked. Eagle Scout Triple, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Stick with Crow. They're in the line to be part of the big five. I mean, that's the goal, right? That's the goal. And for anyone saying, well, Crow is dumping more than other tokens, we have to also see it in the big picture. CRO had the most gains the last few weeks. It's also the easiest to lose them again, especially in a Black Monday scenario. You know, I hate seeing big breakouts like we've seen on CRO. I would much rather see slower, more steady moves upwards that are more sustainable. True. True. That's also the more sustainable way, guys. A lot more sustainable. So according to Ancient Crotoshi here, Crotoshi, I like the name. I think it was also the birthday of Satoshi, creator of Bitcoin not that long ago. But Mr. Crotoshi saying, well, massive buying opportunity. I'm buying the dip, the dipper, and the dippest. Crow all the way. I'm a diamond hand. I like it. I think we might have seen the worst so far, guys. We dipped to about 78. We dipped to about 78 for Bitcoin just a minute ago. But we're back. We're making a bit of a bounce here. A bit of a bounce. Interesting times, honestly. Let's see, let's see. Anyone saying, well, you predicted us wrong? No, I always mention I'm talking long term, guys. I'm talking long term in my videos. Sometimes I try to do a short-term prediction. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. I think the best way to predict the market short-term is going with a tool we have tested many times. I mean, let's ask the 8-ball here. Let's ask the 8-ball. Mr. 8-ball, will Bitcoin crash down to 69k? Will Bitcoin crash down to 69k? It's hard to see here, guys. Unlikely. It is unlikely. Unlikely. Magic 8-ball is the all-knowing being here. Sub Baron, I think I understand why most crypto YouTubers are bold other than you. At least some people make bold predictions. But yeah. Days like this are also on a... Why, guys? Why? My portfolio, no. But hey, you guys, you know the thing. You know the thing, right? You know the thing. You know the drill. When we start this weekly close, we start with a recovery. Exactly the same thing today. We start the stream and we see green candles. Beautiful. Beautiful. Honestly, that happens all the time. This happens all the time. I should start longs when I start the stream because it is 9 o'clock Amsterdam time. That's buy time. Always. No, but I do think... I mean, there is no immediate reason to start dumping more. The thing to look at, guys, the thing to look at is the Asian markets. Asian markets open up in, I think, about 5 hours. Royal Fame, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you very much, dude, for the $5 donation. You should have used that to buy CRO or to buy Bitcoin. Thank you, though. Royal Fame, true legend, man. Mr. Fame, you're a member, by the way, so make sure you check the YouTube posts soon. Soon-ish. Next week. Baron, do you stake your crow? Yes. 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 Wait, sorry. I stake it for the cards. You see back there? That's a stake. It's a good time to buy about 70 billion CRO. Yeah. If you got the money, it's cheap now. So my thoughts are that assuming CRO reached $1, then does it matter that you buy at about 8 cents or 8.5? I mean, I think people are caring way too much about the current price, because you know you can't buy food with a promise, of course. What you see is what you get now. You see an 8.3 cent CRO. But I think, yeah, we've been talking about CRO for already the last 2 years now. Oh, well, I've been talking about it for about 5 years now. But you know, I've been looking at this green band here, this green band for CRO, and it's like clockwork. We go up and down, but so far the green band is holding on pretty nicely. It even had a quite beautiful, wick to the line. But this is a growing line, ladies and gentlemen. Monotonic, increasing, logarithmic trend line. And also PJ is saying, well, I think it's a buy below 10 cents. So FFR was waiting for Lion token to dump, then load up and hit the LP farm on VVS for 320% APY. It is juicy. It is very juicy. But do remember, FFR, I think you did your research. I think you did your homework. But you need to learn about the impermanent loss. Learn about impermanent loss. I quickly want to talk about this, guys. Also been a part of my time to buy video yesterday. But this is the Bitcoin dominance chart. And Bitcoin, oh wait, where did I move that? Bitcoin dominance is something important to follow. It is playing games with us this cycle so far. It is playing games with us. And the strange thing is that it probably is heading towards 66%. 66%. The 0.786 Fibonacci retracement level. I mean, at the current trajectory, we're getting there fast. The only thing that can stop it is really Ethereum. If Ethereum makes a big bounce quickly, let's say tomorrow nothing is going to happen, right? Because it's all everything that's happening right now is about fear. And this is exactly what makes crypto so great. Sundays, the banks are closed. Institutions are not buying lots of Bitcoin. Nobody's really watching the charts, like from an institutional point of view. And then exactly that point, you see really what crypto is about. The wild west really of still financial products, because it is people like you and me, mainly people like you and me, being fearful. And you might see there's no prediction here, but it's a bit of a prediction. You might see tomorrow when institutions wake up again, like, hey, Bitcoin is actually relatively cheap. You might need to buy. You might need to buy. Today, guys, it's only people like you and me. It's retail being fearful. What do you think about 100% annually on Lion Crow earn offer by CDC? I don't do anything like that myself. I think it's a good one, but I talked a bit about, you know, timing the market versus timing the market, and in this case, I like to time the market at least somewhat. And I think if you stake for another year, it might be very hard to time the market. So what Israel is talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is a yearly lockup for both CRO and Lion token. The percentage though is absolutely phenomenal. I don't think you can actually earn anything more or anything. Yeah, there's no way to earn more on your CRO than that. So Royal Fame bought a wolf and locked it in different mine farms and a VVS. You bought a wolf? Why didn't you stake it on the wolf swap platform then, Mr. Royal Fame? Interesting. Let me know. So the interesting thing that Private is mentioning here, so the SPX futures prediction markets again. Ooh. They're opening in about 3 hours. 3 hours. 3 hours. I think that might be a sleepless night for some traders here. It might be a sleepless night for some traders here. Mr. It's Wade, buying the dip, let's crow. Strap in, my dude, strap in. Have you sold anything during these dips? Not really. I sold some Lion and I bought some CRO. Yeah, so that's mainly conversion from Lion into CRO, but yeah, so far it's so good. Have you guys been selling anything? I mean, probably because CRO's been dumping quite heavily. Some people say they refer to this channel as like a copium channel or like a group of people coming together, but you know, I see it differently. I see potential here of the token. I see what's happening also with Bitcoin for the long term. I see what's happening with the, you know, overall legislation for the token, for Bitcoin, for, you know, what they're doing. I'm of course scared for the global market, but you know, if you have a conviction, you need to stick to it as well. It helped me in the 2017 bull run, it helped me in the 2021 bull run. I think it will help me again. And I'm just sharing what I'm seeing myself. And if you have any bearish takes as well, please inform me. I mean, I would like to debate it. I love the Strafting community. Me too, John. Me too. I think Pete is a bit like me. No sleeplessness for me. I have no leverage deals to worry about. Just buy and hold for me. I do have some leverage. I do have a bit of leverage. I hate it now. So Sanjay is also maybe timing the market a bit because he's holding CRO and Lion, but also some Bitcoin for the long term. So the clever thing maybe, I don't know, it's a bit of a playbook you can do. If we're gonna have an altcoin season run, like we've had previously, 2 times before, you can time the market a bit and buy more Bitcoin with altcoin gains. Let's say we go down from 66 to about, 46. It's a 20%, a potential 20% play for the complete altcoin market. But let's go to CRO Bitcoin. Let's go to CRO Bitcoin, because what I'm seeing for CRO Bitcoin is that so far we're still in an uptrend. And I still believe we probably bottom out. We probably bottom out here on CRO Bitcoin, but we need to see a good recovery here. We need to see a big bounce here, because we need to at least have some kind of confirmation this time around that this is it. It looks good though. It looks good. I cannot say the same thing for ETH Bitcoin. ETH Bitcoin is honestly on a... Yeah, so you can see ETH versus the US dollar. ETH versus US dollar. But ETH versus Bitcoin, it's painful. Ow. ETH Bitcoin broke down. It broke down on this pair for a long time now. The only good part about it, let me zoom into the weekly. The only good part is that we have some resistance here, about here. 0.16. So maybe we go down to 0.16, but it doesn't need to be that Bitcoin starts dumping more and Ethereum starts dumping even more. It can also be that Bitcoin has a bigger bounce. Because we just talked about this, right? Bitcoin on the 5-minute chart, it seems to be going up a bit. Just add some extra margin then, Coin Baron. Protect you from loss making downside. Yeah. Thinking about that. I don't know. I want to go to sleep and not, I think it is very unlikely. So my just for anyone that knows, my leverage, it is at risk at about 5 cents. I bought in, I set the leverage for CRO at about 5 cent liquidation. So if you go below 5 cents, I will get liquidated. I don't think we go down below 5 cents anymore, ever. I mean, that is my conviction here. And I'm not the best at, long or short-term predictions. I think said that many times before. But what I do have here is this. I do have the rainbow chart, which is somewhat protecting me. It is somewhat protecting me here. Having said that though, the rainbow chart also, it had wicks. It had wicks about 7 cents. I got scared there for a bit. But I always knew it wasn't really going to collapse even more. I think the market was too strong. I still think we're on an uptrend as well, even though today feels bad. Anyway, that's a bit of my copium today, guys. That's a bit of my copium. Let me check. This is, by the way, the 41st episode already for the weekly close. So guys, don't forget to strap in, hit the like button. Hit the like button as well. And a big thanks as well to WolfSwap for sponsoring this stream, as always. Next week, by the way, we're gonna have a new sponsor as well. Bit of love for the Cronos chain, because we have Moonlander. And the fun thing about Moonlander is that you actually can do leverage trading on chain. And we're gonna do a bit more videos about it, but they do offer 1000x 1000x longs, and it's absolute gambling, guys, with 1000x. But in general, a long from this point onwards, I'm considering a long, depending though on the fees, but a long at about 8.3 cents could be. If you ask me, what's the worst case scenario for CRO? It would be currently a retest of this trend line, and it went deep. It went really deep already. So a potential retest of this trend line, 7.5 cents. 7.5 cents. It is this 3.5 months, or actually no. It's already 5 months. It's a 5-month downtrend. And if we get like a bullish retest here, I wouldn't mind that much. I think it would confirm that we break out of this downtrend. Let's see though. Demo Coin, welcome, welcome, welcome. I just joined. Good evening, Crow Fam and Coin Baron. Only 17 likes, guys. hit the like button. Hit the like button. Thank you very much, dude. Welcome, Demo. Demo, are you looking forward to next football season as well? If you guys don't know, if you hold a loaded line, like the you see the avatar, you see the avatar of Demo, that's a loaded line. And if you hold a loaded line, and maybe the line token, I don't know the exact details here, but probably you can actually get free tickets to basketball games, hockey games, football games in the Champions League, because Crypto.com sponsors a lot of these events and they have a lot of free tickets. I also know a few more companies here that do sponsor the Champions League. For example, Lay's, the chips manufacturer, or for example, Takeaway. Takeaway also sponsors the Champions League. They get so many tickets. But those companies, they have a lot of customers to give those tickets away to. Crypto.com is a lot smaller, actually, in comparison to those big companies like Takeaway and, I'm just called that, chips, Lay's. And also, I think Pepsi sponsors as well. They've got so many customers. The chance to win those tickets is quite big, actually. Anyways, I love football. You know, CRO is crashing with Wall Street. If you talk about, you know, the crash today, is it as bad as the SP? Yeah, okay, it's worse. It's quite a big crash. It's not a little crash today, guys. Minus 12%. Ouch. And you have to see this as well in the bigger picture, because we went down from about 12 cents back to where we were. Minus 30%. Ouch. It's almost like nothing happened, right? It's almost like nothing happened. No Trump media partnership, no AMA with Chris, nothing. Guys, fundamentally the market is different, that's true, but also fundamentally I think there are some bullish things on the horizon. Same for ETH, by the way. ETH, this is painful to see Ethereum break down versus Bitcoin. But Ethereum has a new major upgrade coming up soon. And I think this is very important to see. The last time we had an upgrade for Bitcoin, or for Ethereum, it was this here. It was this bounce from this line to the new, or well, the cycle high, I would say. The cycle high at about 0.86. That was the burn upgrade, EIP 1569. And soon we're gonna have a similar upgrade. Will it be the end? It can potentially bring a lot more bullish fundamental investors to Ethereum. And if Ethereum gets a good bounce, I think it's also going to be very instrumental for the Bitcoin dominance. And it's going to be instrumental for also the other altcoins. I want to take a quick peek though at not the, I want to see in a few hours, guys, what the S&P futures are going to do, like Private talked about. But it is very exciting. How big is your futures position? Is that the 1 million crow position, or do you have 1 million crow in spot? I don't have 1 million crow. I actually don't know. Good question, MK, good question. I need to check what my, I think the majority, I need to probably do like a portfolio update on this one, but I think 30% is leveraged and about 70 is spot. Yeah, so the loaded line, utility and giveaways are absolute class, and the community is the best as well. The lion token flipping Cronos is the perfect example of how strong the loaded lion community is. They are not selling. They are simply not freaking selling. The VIX is at 45, Evavar is saying. The VIX is at 45. Let's take a quick peek, guys, because the VIX... What is the VIX? I've heard about it before, but it's the volatility index, yeah, I remember. Volatility, guys, beautiful. I like some volatility. Oof. Oh yeah, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. It's only half as high. It's only half as high though as the COVID crash. There's more to. There's more room for growth. Ouch though. Mr. Apple saying, well, loading up if it really hits 1 cent and hopefully it doesn't go any lower. If it hits 1 cent, I honestly think if it goes below like 2 cents though, Mr. Apple, I think something is absolutely wrong here with both the. I think something is wrong with the market. If that's absolutely going to happen, it would invalidate so many different charts. It would invalidate so many different beliefs. Really, I think CRO never went below 1 cent. The lowest I've seen it myself is about 2 cents. I think it started at about 1 cent. Thinking back though, I think it started at about 1 cent and it flew higher. But the lowest really since the release has been about 2 cents, 2 cents 40. About the current price of line, by the way. Just remember that the market doesn't like big wicks. So for CRO to hit 5 cents, it would need to make a bigger percentage wick down that it would need to fill somehow. I mean, I think it's a bit different for crypto. I'm not entirely sure though, but I don't think the wick will be that low. And then doesn't get filled often, like that big wicks. CRO is also entering oversold. I think everything is entering oversold on the 4 hour. Yeah, but anyway, so people are scared. I think it's shown perfectly here. It might go to the highest point this year. In about a year's time. I think also interesting, by the way, Japan is looking for this the most. Japan. So stock market is it? I don't know the time currently in Japan. I think Japan it's like 5 o'clock now. It's about 5 o'clock. It always starts in Asia. The Asian markets, Japan first. I think Japan or maybe Australia. Not entirely sure. Just a guess here, but I'm hoping that Bitcoin closes around 79k. Then when the market closes in a few hours, it should swap to a new week and hopefully then it can increase in price to make a higher low. It's an interesting take here. I think though, would that be a higher low? Would that really be a higher low for the weekly or? Take a quick peek here. Let's take a quick peek here at the Bitcoin chart, guys, shall we? Shall we? So, if you're taking a look at actual closes, this will be the lowest close since November 24. November 24. If anything, guys. Depends though on every exchange. I think it might be different on a different exchange. Let me check. Let's go to Binance quickly. Yeah, it's the same for Binance though. So for Binance, if we close at about 80.7, if we close at about 80.7 in the next few hours, then we need a big recovery though. Then it will be a good higher close or beautiful retest. The only thing which I have to say there, if you talk about wicks, yeah, this will be a higher low. If you talk about wicks. Crypto Runner is seeing some CRO discount here. I love it. Vida is hoping for a Cyber Week, like a Cyber Monday. But he gets paid only next Friday. That's bad, man. That's really sad. Blake, do you just buy CRO or anything else? I buy food. I buy gifts for my girlfriend. I mean, she needs some love as well sometimes. I mean, I use my euros for more than just CRO. But yeah, if you're talking about investments, I'm mainly doing CRO. I'm also paying for my mortgage, of course. So yeah, that's. I think real estate is also a bit of an investment. You know, Royal Fame. If I wasn't used to crypto sharp declines, this week in the stock market would have took me by surprise. never really personally experienced a decline like this in stocks, but I'm worried either. I have to say I really agree with this, because what Royal Fame is saying, that we in the crypto market are so accustomed to big dips. I mean, sometimes we go minus 10% on the day and then also go up 5% the next day after. We don't know. If you are here already since 2017, we know it can go up and down, up and down, up and down. It's a roller coaster. We love it. That's why we're in crypto, right? I mean, big wicks down also mean big moves up. That's how it works. But I was around in 2009, but I was, I think, what was it? 2009, I think I just went to high school. I experienced this stock market crash as, I think, a lot different. You know, everyone was talking about it mainly on the news, but I wasn't really in the market myself. So it was like, yeah, sure, I will go play outside now. Play some football, do anything, you know, kids do these days. I think kids these days play Fortnite instead of, you know, play football, but they still play football, of course. But if you're really in the market and really paying attention, it's a lot different. If you go outside though, if I go outside right now and ask 10 people, I think the majority is not really aware of what's happening. So that's also some advice I would give to you guys. I think, yeah, it might be a big crash here, but in the end, it is just a crash like we have seen already time after time after time again, based on fears that we don't know if actually going to come to fruition. Because also already the first news articles today are that Trump is getting invites from the Prime Minister of India, the Prime Minister of Israel, probably soon a meeting with the President of the EU. It's about making deals. It has always been about making deals. But I want to show you something else. Lil Jewy, by the way, welcome. Hi from Canada. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And also thanks very much to Royal Fame. Thanks for hosting, or thanks for the shout out here. Yeah, Jay Smith here. This is your first cycle, or this is my first cycle. Are these crashes normal for altcoins? Many are lowest they have been for about 2 years or more. May say you should buy low in bear market, but may as well just buy now as prices aren't just as bad. So I think the majority of altcoins are up. It's a good this is a really good question though, Jay Smith. I think the exact exception to the rules of Ethereum, and then we go to the DXY, guys. Then we go to the DXY. But the exception really is Ethereum, even though also Ethereum has been lower. So I think the statement you made here is that if you buy now or in the bear market, it's no different. I think it is. I think you could buy Ethereum for as low as about 900 euros. Currently, it's about two times that price. It's about 2 times that price. So yeah, it feels like a weird bull market though. It feels like a weird bull market, but it's also a weird economy where presidents are making rash decisions for the better or for the worse. I mean, that's I guess for the market to decide. But typically you buy in the bear market. But also I agree with the fact that, yeah, if you think it's cheap, continue buying. I mean, nobody says you should stop in the bear market. That's also, I kind of like these prolonged times of cheap prices, because it gives you that maybe one last opportunity to buy low. It gives you that one final opportunity to get in at low prices. I kind of feel bad now though for buying at about 10 cents again. You know, that's how it is. That's how it is, right? I bought about 10 cents here, thinking we actually might have a break up. Then we had the tariff announcement and we broke down. It's unfortunate, it happens. We can't predict the market on the short term that bad. If the tariffs were like a big nothing burger, and I predicted that one wrong, unfortunately, in that case, we might have shut up. So the thing is, guys, on the short term, we can really quickly change to both sides. And again, if we get this big meeting or this big deal that Trump is hoping about, then things can shift quite quickly. Let's go to the DXY though. Let's go to the DXY, because I'm gonna make a separate video about this, but I want to show you what's been happening though. I want to show you what's been happening with the DXY. I've been talking about this in a few time to buys, but I think it's one of the most important topics people are not even talking about yet. So DXY, dollar currency index, it's about the relative strength of the dollar. It's about the relative strength of the dollar. And it's been going up and up and up. Overall, we are at pretty high highs. As long as we're above the 100 level, we're at real highs for the dollar. And that's good, but it's also bad. It's also good and it's bad. So if the dollar is highly valued, it is really cheap to import stuff. It is really, really cheap to import stuff because you can buy a lot of euros with that dollar. However, if you want to export stuff, all your export is going to be super expensive. So this is a bit of a working theory, but I think I've seen this from many people. Around. What if Trump deliberately is crashing the markets here? He is deliberately crashing the markets. That's also, I think, what Scott Bessent has been hinting at a bit. Scott Bessent is one of the advisors to Trump. But he is kind of, crashing the markets to also bring down the dollar. Because if I think Trump wants more manufacturing, right? Trump wants more exports. Trump wants to get rid of the trade deficit they have. It's not going to happen. But they want to bring in manufacturing. And to get more manufacturing, you need more export. You need more export to also sell to other countries. The domestic market is great, but it's not that great. It's only about 250 million people. Only 250 million people. You can only sell about 250 million microwaves. You can only sell about 250 million fridges. You need more. You want more scale. You want global. So if you're going to crash down the DXY, if you're going to crash down the dollar just a little bit, it's going to get so much more cheap to export your stuff. So yeah, it's pain. It's also, I think, good though for exports. I don't know, it's a bit of speculation here. This is super good though for Bitcoin long term. This is super good for Bitcoin. This is super good for Bitcoin because the dollar is getting worth less. Automatically Bitcoin is going up in value, and you can't see it right now because it's also somewhat correlated to the stock market. But long term, what do you like more? A currency that keeps collapsing? Because I think this is only a small collapse. You see, you have to really take a look at this in the big picture. Let's say we go back to these levels here, 2009 levels. Oh man, now we're talking about a very cheap dollar. It's only about a decade ago, guys. Only about a decade ago. We can simply dip about 17% for the dollar. So would you buy into Bitcoin or any altcoin for that sake? Or get into a very quickly devaluating dollar because Trump wants more manufacturing? This is also, I think, a good point here Mr. Apple is making. So I've heard he's crashing the market, so Powell reduces interest rates. Also true. Also very much true here. It's a theory again, so it's no absolute truth here. It is no absolute truth. But let's say we actually have some struggles, because stocks is one thing, but the problem with stocks is that people hate it when the investors hate it when they lose stock value. So next, they want to demand from the companies. They're going to demand from the companies to make more profit so they can at least grow their value back a little. So investors are going to demand more revenue. How can you get more revenue from how can you get more profit from your company? Well, maybe by laying off some people. I mean, that will definitely decrease cost. So maybe next up we're going to see some higher unemployment. And why is that important? Well, the Fed, so Jerome Powell that Mr. Apple's talking about, has two mandates. He has two mandates. It is bring down inflation to about 2%. He's getting there, It's slow, but he's getting there. Even though we do have some inflation potentially from tariffs. But number two is unemployment. And now he has to choose. So let's say we have both increasing inflation and we have increasing unemployment. That's a struggle, because typically what he can do is he can increase interest rates to bring down inflation, and he can decrease the interest rate to bring down unemployment. Those are the two levers he can actually use, up or down interest rate. That's the only thing he can do. And bringing down interest rates is good for employment, because the lower interest rates are, the easier it is to loan, the easier it is to get a loan, the easier it is to pay off a loan. The lower interest rates, the more money you have for different things, for investments. Anyways, just a bit of ranting. I like the theory though. Thanks for bringing it up, Mr. Apple. Eagle Scout Trooper getting paid every Friday. Oh, I'm jealous. In the EU, it is not very likely to get paid every freaking week. John 316, I just bought CRO as well. John, I thought you just mentioned you were scared. I thought you were scared. Bitcoin though, let's quickly see what Bitcoin is doing on the 5-minute chart. Yeah, so 5 minute, nothing really happening. It is stabilizing. Just before we started the stream, it was going down and down and down and down and down, and now it's stabilizing again. $0.04 for CRO is highly likely. Anything below 3 cents definitely over. I would love to make some big purchases if it does. What doesn't make you feel, Protoshi, that we will go down to 4 cents? Is it because Bitcoin is going down also about 50%? You're talking about a 50% drop, so I'm just checking where it comes from here. If the bull market is over, right? There is a potential that the bull market is over. I talked about this and I still think it's the same. I think there's a 90% chance the bull market continues, and there's like a 10% chance the bull market is over. I like to compare it. Check out the video, guys. It's called Time to Buy April. Time to Buy. I talk a lot about macro. I talk a lot about Bitcoin. I talk a lot about the S&P. And I talk also a lot about CRO. But I also talked there about, what was I talking about? Yeah, I talked about the comparison with the 2017 market. The 2017 bull run for Bitcoin. I think it is highly comparable. The overlay is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. So according to FFR, you know, there are 3 types of people. Those who march in the parade, those who watch the parade, and those who say, what parade? Most people are clueless. I never heard of this one, but I like it. I like it. I'm curious though, in this example, in the trading example, what are people that, you know, walk the parade or march the parade? Is that us? I think this is the people, you know, do the research, get in the game. I like it though. Serious, buying Solana at 90 or 100? Good question. Let's take a quick peek here. Ethereum, guys, is going down. Ethereum and Solana, I think, are still somewhat correlated as smart contract networks. Sol. I haven't really taken a look at Sol at a long time. Solana. Ooh, interesting times here for Solana. Interesting times. This is also interesting for the Bitcoin dominance, guys. Because what I'm seeing here on this chart is that we are right at a wick that could bring us down even to like this was really the start, I would say, of at the start. This has been support for a long time for Solana. If we break down here, there's like no other support level. Oh, well, there is one more support level, but it's all the way down at 43. It's all the way down at 43. So maybe this one as well. Yeah, I think you can say there's one more support level. It's about 80. So it's buy now or buy at 80. That's what I would do, Mr. Serious, but no financial advice here. Serious still waiting for capitulation wick. Maybe it's only tomorrow. Maybe it's only tomorrow, Serious, when we got that big dip here from a potential Black Monday. I think it's unlikely. I think we are very close to a bottom. I tweeted about this Friday, just before the close. I might be able to find it. Let me check. Let me check if I can find it. It's a good example. It's a really good example because it's exactly this. Guys, do follow me at the Coin Baron on X if you have Twitter or X. It's it is so similar so far. It is so similar, even though it's a bit more painful. What you can see in the left, the Trump tariffs in Trump 1 administration. Tariff dump brought us down about 20%. About 20. The current S&P dump is about 17. About 17. So we have a bit more room to go down. Let's say about 3%. About 3% more. If you dump about 3% tomorrow, I think that would be the best outcome. It's a small dump. But yeah, we don't know. We don't know. Did we talk about the comparison to 2019 and 1918? Crypto hasn't been tweeted lately, nor have any big news. Have you guys noticed any other catalyst lately? Is it you mean about today, about the big dip today next? It's all in fear. It's all in fear due to what can maybe happen tomorrow. Because people are kind of expecting this Black Friday. So people are looking for Black Monday. I keep saying Black Friday because I love the deals on Black Friday. I love the deals on Black Monday as well. Powell has said for the last 3 years that he cares more about reducing inflation. It's easy to say that when the job market is really strong, Pete. It's really easy to say that when the job market is strong. When more and more people are losing their job and not many new jobs are coming to the market. I think there are actually more jobs available last month when they revealed the numbers, but he has 2 mandates. I mean, yeah, currently he cares more, but his job says 2 things. He has to care equally about both. So, P is talking about something more here. Let's check. So, Trump talks about bringing manufacturing back to the States, but A, this will take years. And B, where it does happen, it will be mostly robots doing the work, as American work is expensive. Yeah, true. Never, guys, are we going to replace Chinese workforce. The Chinese labor force is so cheap compared to, you know, the average American, and that's okay. It's okay. It's how the world works. That's why global markets work nicely. Carlos buying the dip. Welcome, dude. Diamond hand. John, smash the like button. Yes, double smash it, guys. Hit the like and also strap in. Strap in quickly. I was scared, but you relaxed me, Coin Baron. Glad to have a relaxing effect. Glad. Quick question, by the way, to any listeners here. Do you get like any clipping sounds or like any distortion in the sound? I've been working on some fixing this for the videos, but it's oh wait, it's annoying. I hope at least the music is okay today. Some synthwave music. Yeah. So again, guys, I think tomorrow check the DXY, check the DYI, the Dow Jones Index. Check you check a lot of things. Cronos is recovering. This is, by the way, an awful chart. Ay, ay, ay. Hey, Coin Baron, any idea, by the way, on why Minted surged the way it did over the week? I think it was kind of like a glitch or an accident, because I couldn't even trade Minted. I couldn't trade it on the app. I tried to sell my my gains. I got about 300% gains or 1000% gains. I was like, this has to be wrong. So I tried. It failed, unfortunately. I have no clue. It's a really small liquidity pool there, so Fame. It's easy to manipulate it. So Ancient is expecting a 50% drop for Bitcoin as well. Interesting. I, by the way, think that Bitcoin is never, ever going to go below 50k anymore. It isn't, in my opinion. 50k is going to be the new low. 50k is both psychologically as well as, like, if you take a look at the structure from last cycle, 50k is about, yeah, it's about here. Maybe it's going to be 47, the new low, but I don't think a 50% drop is very likely. Scappy though, Scappy is expecting a bit of a dippy day tomorrow. A bit of a dippy day. No, a bloodbath. Let's see. I don't think it will be as big as the COVID dump. COVID was a pandemic. Some people say this is also a black swan, but I think it isn't. I think this is exactly what people voted for. I'm somewhat surprised by how people are, you know, having all those jump scares today or this week. I mean, Trump has been one thing, that's transparent. He wanted tariffs. He's been calling it the most beautiful word in the book. Could you do some video about XFAL or Pharaoh or Minted? Sorry, Mr. Fame, I'm not doing that. Minted is an NFT platform for the guys that don't know. I think Pharaoh is a lending protocol. I'm not entirely sure. It is not very exciting. I think NFT marketplaces are, yeah, I don't know. It's not really exciting. Sorry. So, SCAR is thinking, well, we might have a July bully. A bull run in July. I mean, that could make sense. That would make sense. Guys, I've told you already in the beginning. When I start the stream, 9 p.m. Amsterdam time, every Sunday, every Thursday, every Sunday, we have a nice reaction. We're recovering, and that's really nice. I talked about this earlier. So it's a Sunday weekly close again, guys. Ideally, today, or this week, we close a bit higher. I want to close at about just above this here. Just above this. 80k, 80.7k. Then we have a nice lower high structure. A nice lower high structure for Bitcoin. And we can have a V-shaped recovery maybe next week. Ooh, Mike L here. I pulled out about 10k of my This is not the Lime token I'm talking about. Loaded line. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful chart here. Today though, it's like everything else. Today's like everything else. It has a nice bounce though at about exactly 2 billion market cap. So looking good, looking good. Next week, guys, we're going to talk about the SPX. We're going to talk about CRO, of course, on the rainbow chart. We're going to talk about so many more things. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. DXY as well. Hit the like button. And I will see you next Thursday with a new live. And also next Sunday with, of course, the weekly close. Strap in, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy your weekend if you still have a few hours left. And, you know, don't be scared too much. It's just a stock market as well. Live your life. And maybe, like Mike L, buy the dip if you can. No financial advice, but, you know, buying the dip so far, that's work. Guys, have a good one. Bye, bye, bye. The markets can stay irrationally longer than you can stay solvent. I like that comment though. For some reason, it skipped me. I always remember, you only lose when you sell. Exactly, Max, exactly. Guys, have a good one, bye-bye.